Now, here in Germany, polls have closed in local elections that are seen as the first major test of public opinion since Chancellor Friedrich Merz took office earlier this year. Now, some 14 million residents in Germany's most populous state, North Rhine-Westphalia, were eligible to elect mayors and other local posts. The projected voter turnout is at over 58%, somewhat higher than 5 years ago. The state's mix of university cities, post-industrial towns and farmland makes it a political bellwether for Germany. So let's take a look at the projected results now, and starting with that dark blue bar, that's the far-right AfD at more than 15%. They've tripled their share of the vote from 2020. Friedrich Merz's CDU in black and the Social Democrats in red here keep similar vote shares as in the previous local elections. The Greens appear to be the big losers, down more than 7% from the last vote. And we do have DW's Chief Political Correspondent, Nina Haase, here with us. Nina, we're just seeing those projections. Can you put them into perspective for us?
Now, as we know, voter turnout was up considerably, and that is also a symbol of just how significant people considered these local elections to be this time around. Normally, we don't report on them for an international audience, but a lot of people had their eyes on these results because a lot of things were up in the air. But now we're seeing that the Conservatives and the Social Democrats, who of course make up the federal government here in Berlin, they did do fairly well in these local elections. So you can hear the sigh of relief from German Chancellor Friedrich Merz and his coalition partner, the Social Democrats. But of course, there are two big stories. One, that the far-right AfD party is up considerably, tripling their results compared to 5 years ago, and also a major loss for the Greens. And of course, that had to do with their role in the previous federal government. Not a very happy role they played there, ultimately, but also with the issues that people thought were important to fix.
And what are those issues that people are bothered about?
You know, Tommy, I'm from there, right? From North Rhine-Westphalia, and the industrial decline is very, very visible. You've got broken roads, broken bridges, a lot of traffic jams, and you can see poverty there. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that a lot of those communities have a really high debt share. So they're busy paying off their debts and the interest rates, and they can't really invest in things like swimming pools or public libraries, these kind of things. Now, Friedrich Merz has promised that he wants to fund also the local communities, but all of these things are taking a bit of time. Now, of course, he's only taken office. He took office in May, so quite recently, right? So it takes a while before people can actually see that this money is flowing into their communities. So a lot of frustration still there.
But overall, do you get a sense that these results tell us or give us a picture of what Germans as a whole think of the government?
Absolutely. They're always sort of a litmus test, and the issues that people deemed important here in these local elections were issues like fixing the economy, but also immigration. That is a big issue for many people also there, and public safety. And these are not the traditional issues that you would associate progressive parties like the Greens with, hence their results tonight. But Friedrich Merz is looking at these elections very, very closely. They're the first test since he took office, but also the last one for quite a while before we see regional elections again. And the AfD, as we've seen proven now, are now a headache that is a nationwide phenomenon and no longer just happening in the east of the country.
OK, we'll have to leave it there. DW's Chief Political Correspondent, Nina Haase. Thank you.